All right. This is chapter 2, section 1. Chapter 2, section 1. This is going to be solving for equations. Solving systems of equations. All right. It's basically, have you ever heard the term two equations, two unknowns, and you solve for them? Have you? Anybody? Okay. What it basically is, here's how it works. Let me use an example to show you what we're doing here. X equals 7y plus 3 and 2x minus y equals a negative 7. All right, I'm giving you two equations, a lot like we did when we did the functions. Remember, we did the functions, and I said a function of x equals, let's say, 3x plus 1, and x equals 2. And we plug that 2 in here, and we make it f of 2 equals 3 times 2 plus 1. Remember doing that kind of thing? Okay. Same basis. It's the same thing, except now we're going to solve for one of the variables, and we're going to plug that in. In this case here, if you notice, one of the variables is solved for. This is kind of easy. They solved this for you before we even got started. X equals 7y plus 3. You plug it right into the x. So we got 2 times where our x is. We're going to put 7y plus 3. Now we put in the rest of this equation, minus y equals negative 7. And now you solve it for y. All right? So I get rid of my parentheses first. 2 times 7y. Let's write it like this. So we go 14y plus 2 times 3 is 6 minus y equals negative 7. Combine our y's. 13y. We'll bring our 6 over. It goes what is it? Negative 1? How about negative 13? Subtract the 6 here. Subtract the 6 here. Divide both sides by 13, and you get y equal to negative 1. Once we have our y equal negative 1, then we can plug it back into one of these two equations. Since this one is set already for x, it's real easy to plug back in. Let's put it in this one here. X equals 7 times a negative 1 plus 3. X equals a negative 7 plus 3. X equals a negative 4. All right, real quickly, we can determine that our x and y are negative 1, negative 4, negative 1. If we were going to put this into a coordinate, it would be this way. Negative 4, negative 1. All right, this is solving two equations, two unknowns. This is a substitution method of solving these. All right, there's an elimination method. I don't know if they are. I went through this and it didn't seem like they were teaching it. But I'm going to show you the elimination method next. All right, this is called substitution. Substitution is we solve for one of the variables and then we figure it out. I want to do another one like this, and I'm going to just throw one up here. Say 2x plus 3y equals 6, and x plus y equals 2. I don't know what this comes up as. I have no clue if we're probably going to come up with fractions. But I want you to take some time. I want you to solve for one of the variables, the x or y, in one of the two equations, and then I want you to plug that back into the other equation, determine what x or y is, and then find the x or y, whatever you don't determine on the first round, you find out what it is next path through when you put it back in. See if you can determine what x and y is. Did you come up with it? You're good. Good. This is called the substitution method. Next, I'm going to show you the elimination method. You'd still get the same answers. Yep. Yep. It's just two different ways of solving this. Confidence in yourself, sunshine. Have confidence. You know how you can determine if it's right? You know how you can determine if it's right? Plug your x and y values into that bottom one and see if it comes up to 2. To negative. Yeah. Just multiply both sides by -1. All right, let's take a look at this. I'm going to make this real easy on myself. I'm going to use this equation here, and I'm going to solve it for x or y. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm going to solve it for x. So x is going to equal 2 minus y. It doesn't matter which way you go. I could make it y equals 2 minus x. Doesn't matter. It's all going to come out the same. So now I know what my x is here. My x is going to go into that equation. So I'm going to go 2 times 2 minus y plus 3y equals 6. 4 minus 2y plus 3y equals 6. Y equals 2. What is my x going to equal? 0. X should equal 0. Here's why. If I plug it into here, x plus y, which is 2, equals 2, then x equals 0. Okay? One way that we can determine the solutions, what this is called is 2 equations, 2 unknowns. Our 2 unknowns are x and y, and we have 2 equations with them in. So we can determine what our values are. Let's take a look at this from same one. I'm going to do this a little bit differently now. I'm going to do it through what's called the elimination process. And they don't teach this in the book. I didn't see it, and I don't know why. Because to me, this one is just as easy as what we did with substitution. I'm going to look at this, and I'm going to either add or subtract into these equations. Actually, I'm going to rewrite this bottom one here. I'm going to add or subtract into these. I want to add them or subtract them to eliminate one of the variables. So I look at this and I'd say, I'm going to multiply this bottom equation by 2. Everything in here, I'm going to multiply by 2. All right? And here's how it looks. I'm going to write my top equation again. 3y equals 6. And the bottom one is going to be 2 times, actually I should probably go like this, 2 times x, which is 2x, 2 times y, which is 2y, there's a plus in there, and then 2 times this, which is 4. Now I'm going to subtract these two equations. 2x minus 2x is 0. 3y minus 2y is y. 6 minus 4 is 2. Now I can plug this back into one of these equations to determine what my x is. All right. This is called the elimination method. The other one's called the substitution method. You can use either one. I don't care. When you get a problem and it gives you 2 equations, 2 unknowns, use either one to figure it out. Whichever one works easier. Sometimes you're going to get something that's going to look pretty crazy. It's probably going to look something like this. I might have 2x plus 3y equals 6, but I may have 4x minus 6y equals, it might not even be that, maybe something like 7 and 5. So you're going to look at this equals 13. All right? Let me rewrite this. We're going to make it so it really isn't something that we can multiply easily. Let's call this 5. Let's call this 7. We can't really multiply one or the other to get it to be an even number. But that doesn't mean you can't do it through the elimination process either. Because I can multiply my top one by 5 and my bottom one by 2, and then my x's are the same. And then I can do the elimination method again. You understand what I'm saying? All right? So I can do it either way, but this one here I might look at it and say, oh, I might want to just solve for my y and then plug it in. All right? Or I maybe want to multiply both of them by a number to be able to combine them and get the elimination method. Either one will work. All right. Now, let's see. They say they want you to solve it by graphing. Okay, everybody has Chromebooks. You don't have them with you right now, but I am going to show you something. And here's what I want you to do. The graphing part of it, yes. I want you to solve these by either substitution or by elimination. The graphing part of it, yes, I want you to do, but here's how I want you to do it. Because you're going to start using this. This is called Desmos calculator. Let's see. Wait till you see what I'm going to do, and then you can. Let's see. Pre-Calc Desmos calculator. Here's something that you're going to want to put on. This is something that you're going to want to have if you got a smartphone. You want to put this on your smartphone. In your Chromebook, you want to put this in your Chromebook. This is where I do not use graphing calculators in this class. Now, I have some teachers that are friends that swear by you have to use graphing calculators to teach in pre-calc class and up. I'm not sold on it, and here's why. You can go out and pay $85, $110 for a graphing calculator, or you can do this online for free. Now, if you go into some kind of test where they won't allow online stuff and you need a graphing calculator, then it becomes you better learn the graphing calculator. But that's something that you can do on your own. You can pick up the book. I did it. I picked up the book. I went through it. I needed a graphing calculator for one of my classes, and I learned it, and I went on it. Yes? Yeah, I've got some in there. I got some. I mean, we can do it. It's not real difficult, but it is cumbersome. to go through. But here's what I want you to do. If what's that? Did you? Yeah. Mhm. This is what I use, and you can go into the smartphone and get apps. If you've got a smartphone, there's some cool apps out there. I've got some on my phone. I've got it's called Math Flash. I've got one that I really like out here. It's called a Function. Where is it? It's MathWorks. Well, I went out and looked for these, and these are ones that I played with, and they really were nice. Where's my Function one? It's missing. It's missing. Why is it missing? This one shouldn't be missing because this one I really liked. I don't know why it's missing. There was one that's called Function. Is it in my... it's missing right from my thing altogether. Interesting. But what was nice about it, I could graph on it. I could do the different sine, tangent, cosine functions in it. There were a lot of things that I could use in it that were really handy. They were really nice to use. I got to go figure out why that isn't on there anymore. But here's how this is, and you write this in your book. www.desmos.com/calculator. Desmos.com/calculator. And this is slick. If I want to graph an equation, I put it right in here. I just type y equals, where's my equals, let's say 3x plus 1. And it graphs that equation. It is. Let's go down and grab another equation. Let's say we have another one that is y equals minus 6x plus 2. Okay, let's delete that plus 2 out because it isn't. Let's say plus 1. Do I? That's a bummer. 1. Where does that one go? Okay. This is a good one. If you notice, this is where they say solve it by graphing. If you notice where my y is and my x is, this point right here is 0, 1. That's my coordinate. If I put my coordinate in here of 0, 1, that would be the solution for those two equations. All right? Pretty slick, right? Let's try another one here. What were the two equations we had before? Read those off for me. 2x plus 3y equals 6. You're so funny. What's the other one? Just x plus y? X plus y equals 2? Okay. 2, 0. And that's what we figured out for it, right? 0, here's my coordinate. 0, 2. Oh, 0, 2, I'm sorry. 0, 2. So when you graph, if you graph the two equations, you should be able to find a solution for those two equations. That's what they mean by graphing to solve. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to use either substitution or elimination, and I want you to confirm it by using the Desmos calculator, that you're correct. Well, that's what I'm asking you to do. Yeah, I'm asking you to do it, okay? Yeah, if you get it wrong, I'll know you didn't use Desmos calculator. What's that? Just do the equation. You're doing a substitution. Yep. Yeah. Use it to see if you're right. Okay, page 60. Page 60. I want you to do 16 through 26 evens. Let's see if we don't have one out here that would be really good. All right, just do those. And do this one. I want you to do number 32. 32. Huh? That is on page 61. This is on page 61. All right, number 32. All right.